How does an Indian, white boy, son of a man and a woman, dropped in the middle of a suburban spot in Republican Texas filled with nerds and Marvel lovers, do a terrible Hamilton cover? Dead Inside, CineBRUH. That's us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is. That was not bad. That was actually
Don't
quite
lie.
the opposite of bad. No, I'm serious. That didn't suck.
Yep.
Take it or leave it. That's all you're getting.
Speaking of things that didn't suck, everything except our podcast. Hi, everybody. This is CineBRUH. I'm Matt.
Seeking a
founding father at the end of the world.
There we go. Yeah.
Got it.
Twofer.
Bam.
The twofer.
So, yeah, I'm Matt.
And I'm Ohm.
And in case you didn't know, I did a song cover right there of Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, a famous Broadway musical.
Wow, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I did all the
I don't like
myself.
musicals.
Are you the guy who didn't like musicals?
I am the guy who didn't like musicals. I'm also the guy who didn't like the guy who didn't like musicals.
Man, that's like
guy
who didn't like musical
sucked.
exception. It didn't suck. Come on.
Okay, it didn't suck. It didn't not suck either. How about that?
Okay. One day you'll have to watch the Black Friday because that
director's cut. Oh,
because you said you were interested in that one at least because it was Stranger Things, Stephen King, H.P. Lovecraft inspired.
Yeah, it has stuff going for it that the guy who didn't like musicals didn't.
Yeah, well, we already talked about the guy who didn't like musicals. Now it's time to talk about an actual musical made by more talented people than Star Kid, I guess.
Yeah.
So we both watched the 2015 smash hit Broadway musical on Disney Plus, Hamilton, and starring Lin-Manuel Miranda, David.
Written by him as well. David Diggs, Philip Sue,
Leslie Odom Jr.,
Jonathan Groff, Renee Elise Goldsberry, who was also in Waves.
Mm-hmm. And it was directed. This version was directed by the guy who did Foss. What was the thing?
What?
Okay, so
Fosse Verdon?
Yeah.
No. Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was him? Jeez, I had no idea.
Yeah, he directed the Fosse Verdon and even had Lin-Manuel Miranda guest star in an episode.
Oh, the miniseries? Oh, wow, no way.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, he
right?
directed a few episodes of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen that.
Yeah, it made me want to watch it a little bit more, just like give it a try.
I just like the cast already, so.
So, yeah. What'd you think of it? Because before you had made a couple of statements saying how it was overhyped.
Hot takes.
Yes, hot takes.
Yeah. I said it was good but overrated. Now I think it's amazing. Mm-hmm. And a lot less overrated. I really, really loved this. I think the only reason why I would say why I called it overrated in any sense, because the thing was I had not been able to really watch Hamilton. Like, the tickets are expensive. Like,
oh yeah,
we're not gonna do that. But
I haven't seen it either, technically.
Yeah, but so the thing was, the only really experience I had or exposure I had to it was all the pretentious nerds praising it like it was the best thing ever.
Musical theater kids.
Yeah, and then I had just like really listened to some of the songs on Spotify, which again, very well written, and all of the rapping and singing is very well done.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't. I think the thing is, the visual thing is another big part of it. Like, yeah, you can listen to the music and really appreciate it, but the choreography, the costumes, the visual flair, like, there's a lot of physical beats that you really need to see to get that full experience and to appreciate it more. And now that I was finally able to do so, I appreciated it a lot more. I really loved this. Had some And even this is strange because the direction is very well done. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
And well, the writing was always good. I loved all of the. I already knew before this point that everyone could sing and rap well.
Yeah.
Especially I love Daveed Diggs. He's a great. I listened to his band Clipping. I really love them. He did some rapping in the movie Blind Spotting, which he also wrote.
Yeah, I really want to watch that if I can find that somewhere.
Honestly, it's very relevant considering our time, but also it is already without that, it's already a great movie. So yeah, all of this was great, but now seeing them act as well, I would say facial expressions were another thing I kind of needed to see, like physical bits of comedy. Like I cannot imagine that Jonathan Groff "You'll Be Back" song now without Jonathan
spit.
Groff being so over the top. Yes, it was so good.
That was my dad's favorite part. He loved it whenever the king was on stage.
Because Jonathan Groff is great. Now I can't not see that. Like I'm gonna be watching Mindhunter, and that's all I'm gonna see.
You'll be thinking of and no, don't change the subject.
Yeah, and that not just that, but and it's like, I'll kill your family.
I'll kill your
to show you my love.
To remind you of my love.
Da, 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 da. Like it's just like taller and more high pitched Lord Farquaad.
Yeah, basically.
But also a real person in history.
Yeah, speaking of which.
And his little dancing was honestly really nice. That was a really funny, flamboyant touch to it that I really liked.
Speaking of history, it has come. So, because Hamilton is back in the spotlight again, there have been those people, who are questioning, like, how much we should appreciate this, as it is, there's a lot of people in this musical who own slaves, and how there's
that is a very good point.
Inaccuracies and
okay, yeah.
Stuff
about
like
historical inaccuracies, that doesn't bother me because they made it very clear that that was intentional.
In interviews, Miranda would say that, like, he would call them characters. He would say, the Jefferson character in this, like, would do stuff, and not say, oh, Thomas Jefferson totally danced a lot back then.
Wait, he didn't?
Apparently not.
This is news.
He also apparently was not African American.
He wasn't played by Daveed Diggs. That's unfortunate.
Right. So there is some, like, discussion to be had about this kind of thing, but I don't think we should really talk about that because it is fiction. It's obviously fiction. There's just also a conversation about
they took their liberties with this.
That's a good pun, maybe.
I wasn't trying to. That wasn't intentional, but I guess take it. I'll take it.
You'll take it.
Yeah. So it. Plus, I don't really think that either of us really have that. What am I trying to say? I don't think either of us can talk about it.
Yeah.
In any sort of like fully realized way. I don't think we can give the topic the justice that it deserves.
Right.
I'm not saying that we're both dumb. One of us is, the other's Matt, but
that's nice.
Yeah. That's all you're gonna get. But point is, I think we should just talk about the quality of it, and I think the quality is, I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I really like it. It's funny. It's interesting. It is dramatic. I do like a lot of the music. I do like that it is more like there are more hip hop parts of it.
And
as someone who, sorry,
it's kind of interesting how they had hip hop be the music of the revolution, because, like, for all, like, the British songs, it would be more
Just normal.
Yeah, it'd be more
musical stuff.
normal musical theater songs. And then when Jefferson comes back for the "What Did I Miss" song, it's more groovy and less hip hop because he had missed that revolution.
That is really, I do really like how that was done, and I do just like, I have a lot of respect for everything that was done here. Where, I mean, obviously all of these people were white in real life, but here it's many people of different ethnicities.
Yes.
Which is obviously historically inaccurate, but the thing is, they made it clear that it's intentional. And honestly, at the end of the day, who cares?
Who cares?
No, like, I mean,
Twitter
sure,
does.
historians, yeah, cancel culture cares.
Yeah, but
Which, by the way, cancel culture is so obnoxious, and I'm not going to get into it, but I hate it.
Let's not talk about that.
Let's not talk about that.
Now back to the good part. So my thoughts, because I didn't really get to say my thoughts, I guess.
Anyway, this is what sorry. I wanted to mess with you.
Yeah. This is the musical that got me into musical theater, because Sydney Reeves, would show me this and I would be like, what musicals? I don't know. I guess
Gross.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just watching Jacksepticeye play Undertale, So I started listening to it and I really liked it. So I listened to it a couple times and I would just go through, I just went through a bunch of musicals that people said were good, became part of the musical theater kid culture despite not being able to sing. And I guess it kind of ruined my life, but it's a pretty good jam.
Yeah. Yeah, it ruined my life. I can live with that.
When jams are these goods, who needs a life?
So lonely.
What did I miss?
Yeah. I do. I'm not like the biggest fan of musicals. I do like them. Like, I mean, I like a bunch of them. La La Land is a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Sweeney Todd is still my favorite musical.
Yeah.
Les Mis, not a big fan of the 2012 movie. I prefer the film adaptation that isn't a musical with Liam Neeson.
Oh.
But like the musical itself, I have seen Klein High do a production of it, and they did a really good job. I was impressed.
Yeah.
Not to say that I had low expectations because it was Klein High, because I mean their stuff is pretty much great all the time, but yeah, it was really, really, really well done, and I do like the songs. So yeah, these are musicals I do like a lot.
Yeah.
But you have to do a good job with it. And you need to have interesting music. The music has to fit. It has to be good, as a story-wise. I feel like I feel like Hamilton definitely checks all those boxes.
The only real problem I had with this Disney Plus recording was that for the first 10 minutes, it seemed like everyone was kind of tired. There's some raspy singing and wasn't as powerful as I thought it was on the, the cast album.
Not surprised, yeah, because I mean, in these kind of scenarios, it tends to be that they're forced to just do it again and again and again for hours.
7 shows a week,
Have you do you watch the YouTuber Sideways, I believe is his name?
Yeah, I've watched a couple of his videos.
Yeah, he has a video on Les Mis that talks about that, where it's basically he had his Tom Hooper had his actors do this for so long, and it was just no wonder their voices are bad.
Yeah. And they had no water and stuff like that, and just
basically... not that they had no water. Hugh Jackman was just crazy, and he deprived himself of water.
Yeah, that was pretty.
That's why you didn't get the Oscar.
Sorry.
Also, your singing was not very good. Hot take.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I did not like the singing. Anyway, what were we talking about? Hamilton.
Hamilton. So yeah, but after that 10 minutes, everyone started singing really good again. Not that they were singing bad before, but
better.
So it's Hamilton. It's still great.
It's Cats. Hamilton.
Yes, it's yeah.
I think the CGI could have been better. It's pretty good for a live recording.
So does this make you any more interested in the Heights musical movie adaptation?
I was really excited for it, and then I actually looked it up, and Lin-Manuel Miranda isn't writing the script.
Well, no, but like it's gonna be based on the musical he did write.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't know. I just feel like wait a minute. Oh, never mind. It's written by the person who wrote it alongside Lin-Manuel Miranda. Okay, I take it back. I'm back to being excited.
I'm back on the hype train.
I'm back on the hype train. And John M. Chu, I feel, he is someone who can direct a good-looking movie. Like, I mean, out of all the movies wait, have I ever seen a movie from? No, I haven't seen a single movie from him. Okay, never mind. But
well, the
like,
trailer at least makes it look visually interesting. You know,
he is one of those directors who can make a visually interesting movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like Gem and the Holograms, for example. I'm pretty sure like that was pulled out of theaters after like a few weeks because it was terrible.
Oh my goodness, did he direct that?
Yeah, he directed. Okay, this is what he's directed: Step Up to the Streets, Step Up 3D, Justin Bieber, Never Say Never, G.I. Joe Retaliation, Justin Bieber's Believe, Step Up All In, Gem and the Holograms, Now You See Me Too, and Crazy Rich Asians. And then most recently, Ken Jeong, You Complete Me Ho. That was his comedy special. And he directed, I think, every episode of the show. Oh, he directed a few episodes of the Apple TV show Home Before Dark.
Well, I'm still excited for it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think even though all the movies I just named are very, they range in quality, I think pretty much everyone could agree that they look good.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, they do look like Now You See Me Too. I didn't watch that because I personally hated the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever. But it looked nice, I'm guessing.
So, yeah.
But yeah, I'm interested in seeing it.
Favorite song? You have a favorite song?
Geez, okay, let me pull up the track list because there were so many good ones. Part of me wants to say You'll Be Back.
That's a good one.
That's a great one. Aaron Burr, My Shot. Like the first three songs, like themselves are fantastic.
They all set up the leitmotif
Revolution
and stuff like that because, you know, stuff will come back from later.
Yeah, like the first one's just a full-on summary of Hamilton's life. Right. Aaron Burr kind of like starts the main conflict and also introduces Lafayette,
right?
Lawrence, and what's the other guy?
Hercules Mulligan.
Okay, yeah. And then My Shot is just, I mean, it's My Shot.
Right.
Then Story of Tonight was fine. The Schuyler Sisters, I was not the biggest fan of that song. I thought whenever it was just Renee Elise Goldsberry singing, that was like the best part of that one. Farmer Refuted was awesome.
Right.
That was funny.
I always love it whenever you can like change the lyrics to make it like a different thing, you know?
Yeah.
But for me, I think it's probably Wait For It. No, not Wait For It. Sorry. What Did I Miss? And The Room Where It Happened, probably.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good ones. Cabinet Battles were pretty good.
Cabinet Battles.
Guns. I didn't like Helpless, but I did like Satisfied.
Yeah. Helpless
was just annoying to me. That song was really annoying.
Okay.
Philippa Sue, she did a good job. It's just the song was
Right.
Satisfied was really well done. I thought it was. I keep stepping on your lines. I'm so sorry.
That's great.
Like Satisfied, I really like. It starts off really nice, and then it just like the whole rewind aspect, and her rapping, like I guess her kind of rapping there is really well done. It was. Yeah. It's impressive. I really loved it. It's strange because I saw her because seeing her in Waves first and then seeing this, because this came out because Hamilton's been around for years, and then Waves just came out in 2019. So, but like, holy crap, she's really good here.
Mm-hmm. And this
just
really,
further proof of how talented of an actress she is.
It definitely kickstarted some people's careers, like Leslie Odom Jr. and Lin-Manuel Miranda and David Diggs. David Diggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I would say that, yeah, no, it's okay. I'll just chalk it up to your racism. It's okay.
Thanks.
I really like his... I absolutely love Clipping. They're a great experimental rap band.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, their latest album, Their Existence and Addiction to Blood, is heavily inspired by like the music of John Carpenter and just the overall aesthetics of like 80s action and horror.
Does he rap as fast?
Oh boy, yes. He's so good.
I always love the good fast rapping songs like Rap God and
listen to Nothing Is Safe. Is very well. That's the first song on there. If you don't like that, then like you're not gonna like the rest of the album. But okay. yeah, this is all really well done.
Yeah, good musical, and almost
extremely good. I will admit it. I really was wrong, and I'm very happy to have been wrong.
Yeah,
this is like I'm not a masochist, so I don't love being wrong. Mm-hmm. But I love whenever I see something and like initially I'm just like, it's not that good, and I prove myself wrong, or I have bad or I have something like very low expectations of something, and then I'm surprised by it. Like Edge of Tomorrow, I remember seeing the trailers for that. I thought it was going to be crap, and then I saw it and I loved it. Stuff like that, where I love being wrong.
Well, I give this a 9 out of 10. Really
Same
good.
here. I think I'm only docking off that point because I was not a fan of not Satisfied, Helpless.
And also, it's not a movie technically.
That didn't bother me.
Yeah. Well, then why did it bother you for the guy who didn't like musicals? Because you're like, I'm not going to rate this because this isn't a movie.
Because it didn't have that filmmaking finesse that this does.
Okay, you win this round.
Of course I do. So, what's next?
Pilot
Come on, Matt. What are you doing? Oh, Pilot School.
Segue. Pilot School.
Segue. Wanna wrap a segue off the top of a cliff? Segue.
Pilot School. Yo.
Pilot School.
So, we spun the wheel and it landed on SeaLab 2021.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah.
It's the fourth. It's the fourth Adult Swim show, fourth original Adult Swim show.
Ever?
I think so, yeah.
Really? Wow.
At least, like, the fourth original one.
Yeah. And this was basically just, they used a bunch of stock footage from the show SeaLab 2020, and then just did, like, a bunch of parodies of, like, just parodied it, and, like, just spoke, like, just said a bunch of nonsense over it.
That's what they did with a lot of their earlier shows, like with Space Ghost Coast to Coast. They just took the animation cells of Space Ghost, Zorak, and Moltar, and they would just animate it to make it look like a talk show, like they were talking.
Oh, okay.
That I really do love. Space Ghost Coast to Coast is basically the precursor to the Eric Andre show, and how they make the audience, and how they make them very uncomfortable. Because basically, Space Ghost and Moltar and Zorak will have like their own deal going on, like arguing about like ramen or whatever, and how there's like an ant infestation, and then they'll just like get these celebrities and just sort of ask some really weird questions.
Yeah, I don't know how my dad and I actually got my dad to watch the Eric Andre show, and he ended up loving it.
Yeah.
Don't know how that happened. This was awesome. I'm just gonna say it right now. This was awesome. I really like this, and I do want to see the rest.
Oh, that's really cool.
It was really funny. It was like just me sitting there and just like, what is going on? What is happening?
It was just a really funny conversation.
Exactly, and it's just total nonsense, like I said. And that's what made it so funny. Like, it's just random. Like, what is it again? They were arguing about like if you could have your consciousness put in a robot.
In a robot, would you do it? It's like, well, would I be like the same? No, you could get, you'd be about 5 foot tall. It's like, why 5 foot? And then it's like, could I be a tiger? Yeah, you could be a tiger. It's like, why does he get to be a tiger?
I was a cyborg this whole time.
Well, you just spoiled it, so thanks for that. But
this is a spoiler talk.
Oh yeah,
it's not my fault you haven't seen it.
I've seen it.
Jerk.
You jerk face.
You're a jerk face. I said it first. Why did I do Taika Waititi?
So the other shows that aired beside this were Aqua Teen Hunger Force, The Brack Show, and Harvey Birdman Attorney at Law.
Oh, okay. I haven't
seen that. It was created by Adam Reed, who is the creator of Archer.
Oh, I still haven't seen Archer.
Yeah, it was just a really funny thing because it started off and I wasn't like, it was kind of like all right at first, because it was like, oh man, our submarine laboratory is sinking. It's leaking, and then
who cares though?
It's like, who cares? And then it's just like they start to talk about their robot bodies, and it's like, okay, that's kind of funny, but then it just keeps going on for 11 minutes. They don't go on to anything else.
I know, that could I can see why that would be an issue, but that didn't bother me at all.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like at first, it was just like if it was just like a one-off conversation, I would have been like, oh, okay, so they're just stupid. Whatever, but because
no, it goes on forever.
Because it just keeps on going on and building on each other, and everyone is involved with what kind of robot they would be, and if there was a robot versus human uprising, it was really funny. But that's basically what they were talking about in SeaLab 2021. It was just really funny, well done dialogue.
I was honestly the only thing I'd really known about this show before we spun it on Pilot School was that I just knew the one joke, just like this little bird thing. I forgot its name, but it just keeps being like, "I love you, Bizarro. I love you. I'm helping." It was something like that, and I was like, I was kind of disappointed that wasn't in this episode, but
yeah, so you gotta keep watching.
Come on, Adult Swim.
Yeah, so this got like 4 seasons,
Oh wow. Wow.
So, a lot of seasons, a lot of meat.
More seasons than the OA.
Yeah, well, these are
more seasons than Firefly. Oof. I'm sorry, that was a big oof.
Yeah.
I had to do it to him.
You really didn't.
I did have to do it to him.
But it's just,
sorry.
There's not really a lot to say about this, which is a good thing, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's 11 minutes long. It's not like a meaty, like, drama or something like that.
But yeah, it is. It's short but sweet and pretty funny.
It's just funny.
And it's very entertaining. That's all it needed to be, and it succeeded. Congratulations. You did it.
If you don't laugh at this pilot, then wipe yourself up, man, because you are dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
SeaLab 2021. The problem was, it was just kind of like, that was funny. I'm not sure how much more I would watch of it. But the thing is, it's so short. It's like, you don't really have time to not watch it. But it's definitely the kind of show that Adult Swim viewers would like, because Adult Swim is basically a channel for people who left the TV on when they got high, and it's like, oh hey,
You
what's
speak
this?
from experience.
No, but that's just like what everyone says.
Mhm.
That's like the whole deal.
That's what all my my non-existent stoner friends tell me.
Yeah.
I don't have friends.
I gave it a 7 out of 10.
I
Pretty
would
funny.
also give it a 7 out of 10. It was very funny, and I might check it out again.
Yeah.
It's really, 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 really funny, and yeah, it's entertaining, and I liked it, and I was honestly surprised when it ended because I wanted more.
Well, too bad there isn't anymore, because the whole thing blew up. So there's obviously not going to be any more.
What do you mean?
The CineBRUH, it blew up at the end.
Oh, well, it's not like there are like, what, 4 seasons?
Yeah, I don't know what they do for the other 4 seasons. They're probably just dead.
Keep blowing it up over and over again.
At the end of every episode, they all die.
The entire show is just the exact same stock footage, but they're talking about something else every episode.
That wouldn't be far off, pretty much.
That would actually be really funny. I would love that.
Yeah. So, just to let you, another recommendation kind of thing. If you do, since it's also on the Adult Swim site, try an episode of Space Ghost Coast to Coast. I'd recommend the one with Andy Dick. That one was good.
Andy.
I know they make that joke in the episode.
You said Andy. That's funny.
Hi, Andy.
That's funny. We're having fun here.
We have fun here on CineBRUH.
We have fun here. Yeah, there's some.
Shut up! I'm trying to talk. I'm not having fun. When you're talking, I don't have fun.
I hate you.
Thanks. So, yep, that was pilot school.
It was, but it's summer, and we're going to talk about what we've been doing. That was a bad segue. What we've been doing during our summer.
Watching movies and laying on the couch and not getting work because I'm stuck at home.
I'm stuck in the middle with you. Actually, you know what? That would actually be terrifying. No offense, dude, but you suck.
Joker to the right, here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
Okay, do you want to go first? Should I go first?
You have a lot, right?
Yeah.
So you go first.
Okay, just get the best out of the way.
Yeah, sure. How many do you have? How many movies?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8.
I got 6 things I've got to talk about. So.
Ooh. Okay, so I'll go first, I guess.
Yeah.
So first I watched Hamilton. We already talked about that, so I don't have to go more into it. I really loved it. 9 out of 10. Then I watched Lars von Trier's Dancer in the Dark. This was a weird. I had a weird journey watching this movie, because I started off giving it for me, at first it was a 7, then it went down to a 6, then down to a 5, and then it went all the way back up to an 8. I don't know how.
I think you got lost there somewhere.
Bjork's performance is pretty great. She gives a very well done, she with the performance full of childlike innocence, and it's very well done. All of the acting is really good, I'd say. The mom from the Fred trilogy is in this movie, and she's great.
Mm-hmm.
She shows up near the end, and I really, really liked her inclusion. I felt like she worked very well. And this movie's ending broke me. I was...
Wow.
Holy crap. Lars von Trier hates his audience. I think it's very clear that he hates his audience, but this is a movie where I respect that.
Well, a lot of the audience hates him.
Well, that's true, but also Lars von Trier is just a crazy man.
He is crazy.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about Can.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this movie. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Then I saw Josh Trank's Capone.
Kapow!
I was rooting for you, dude. Josh Trank, I was rooting for you.
I remember.
I have stood by you
It was like
because
the first episode of this podcast. You talked about this movie.
Did I? Oh yeah, I did.
Well, because you were talking about like how you saw the trailer, and that was how I was like, I might be into that.
That's the problem I have with Capone, because first of all, I said I was rooting for Josh Trank because his directorial debut was Chronicle, which I again highly recommend. I think it's awesome. 8 out of 10. And his second movie was Fant Four Stick, which I still haven't seen.
What I'm aware of, I've seen it.
What I'm aware of is that, like, basically throughout production, Josh Trank, like, it was kind of mixed things. Like, of course, Fox was interfering. That's not hard to believe. Fox has done that before. But also, there were reports from Fox saying that Trank was just stoner on set and was just being a jerk. Like, especially there were reports like him not being kind of antagonistic to Kate Mara.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily antagonistic. He said he regretted casting her because Johnny Storm is black, she's white, they're siblings. So, like, she was like, yeah, he's like, yeah, I probably should have. Basically, like, if I'm gonna make Johnny Storm African American, I should make Sue also African American, or vice versa. If they're gonna be white, then they both should be white. Yeah. So yeah, but also, like, he did that stupid thing the day before the movie came out. He just said, "Hey, I have a version of this movie that's fantastic that no one's ever gonna see. That's life, though." And then, like, the actors were a bit like, "Yeah, that's true. His version was a lot better." Because I think he was going for like a Cronenberg sort of movie rather than like a stereotypical superhero movie. He was trying to make it more like the superpowers. It was less like superpowers and more like a curse. And that, in theory, that could be interesting. I just feel like with Fantastic Four, not so much.
Yeah.
And Capone, the thing is, what I've got that leads me to Capone, like, because this is his first movie since he took a 5-year break, which I think is well deserved. I feel bad for him because holy crap, that must have been a lot. Because I mean, it is bad whenever you take an indie director and then have him direct this. Not only like have him direct this big budget movie, but then completely sideline his artistic vision. There's already a lot of stress, and then the studio interfering makes it worse.
Yeah.
So this is his comeback with another independent movie. This was a passion project for him. He always really wanted to do this. So Capone is not your typical gangster movie. It's instead a delve into Capone's mental state during the final year of his life. Where he was suffering from dementia, and Tom Hardy plays Capone. And the whole thing is, it has like a lot of flashbacks, and he's having a lot of hallucinations. And honestly, I don't know what was going on, and I don't care because this movie sucked. I was very disappointed. It's a strange day when even Tom Hardy can't save the movie.
Yeah.
Because I love Tom Hardy. Venom is a really bad movie. I love it, though, because Tom Hardy is so committed, and he does a very good job. Here, he was very he's very committed, but
like a bird in the wind.
He's very over the top, and not in the best way, because it's just, whenever he talks, he sounds like a mix of Robert De Niro and Donald Duck. Just I pooped my pants again. Which is another thing. Yeah, he poops his pants 3 times in this movie. Like actually. And the thing is, this is what's no, not Tom Hardy. The character Capone poops his pants.
They got a stunt double for that.
Oh, they got a stunt double. Did they get stunt doubles for the poop as well?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, no one cares about Tom Hardy. Yeah, this has a surprisingly good cast: Tom Hardy, Kyle MacLachlan, Linda Cardellini, Matt Dillon,
Mm-hmm.
other actors. I think those are the only ones whose names I know. And there are moments where it's definitely going for humor. Some of it works. Like there's a scene where Capone he's fishing with Matt Dillon and he gets pissed off because like he almost gets a fish and then an alligator eats the fish and takes the fishing rod. So Capone just takes out a Tommy gun and shoots it. Like, okay, that's a scene of comedy, well, kind of dark comedy that makes sense, that works. But in a way, it seems like it's trying to also portray dementia in a comic light, and that is not a good thing. Dementia is a really messed up thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like mental illness in particular, don't do it in a comedic fashion unless it's very obvious that you are being irreverent to it. Like you're being respectful to it while not, and you're being funny, but you're not being disrespectful. Like say a good example, Mr. Robot is very respectful towards its depiction of mental illness. There are moments where Elliot's illnesses are depicted in in a funny way, but that is acceptable because it's very clear the amount of detail that that Sam Esmail was putting into the depiction of mental illness in the show. He put so much care and thought into it that it came across as respectful, even though there were moments where it was supposed to be funny, because that's also equaled out by the moments where it's supposed to be scary as hell. Like, yeah, but here, not so much. I see what he was trying to do. It's a fantastic concept, but it was not executed well. I'm giving it a 3 out of 10.
Oh, dang.
I rewatched Thor Ragnarok, 7 out of 10. Yeah. I love it. I watched the 2013 Fede Alvarez Evil Dead. I really liked it.
Very controversial movie.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm surprised that so many fans of the Evil Dead franchise don't like this one because, yeah, it's not a great movie. Some of the acting is really not good. Some of the writing sucks.
Well, that's probably why.
It's so no people like it. I think it's just the thing is tonally. I guess people don't like it. Personally, I like it more than the original. I'm not the biggest fan of the original, The Evil Dead. I think it's like one of those movies where it tries so much. Like it tries. I'm not sure what it was going for. If it was going for comedy or if it was going for like straight up horror. Because the tree scene, if it was going for comedy, that's too far. That did not work for me.
Sam Raimi has apologized since then with a really good like.
Oh no, he has made I have seen the apology and I'm okay with that. I'm like, okay, yeah. I completely understand that. I feel like that makes sense. I get it. Evil Dead 2, absolutely love. I think that's a horror comedy classic. I adore it.
Right.
Ash vs. Evil Dead is a hilarious show. I couldn't get into the musical. But yeah, Fede Alvarez's remake, I really liked. I mean, it's probably the bloodiest movie I've ever seen in my life. And yeah, this movie is insane. I really liked it. The practical effects were great. I feel like there was more of a reason as to why they don't believe the first victim in this movie and why they're even at the cabin. Because the first movie, it's like the original, The Evil Dead, is they're in the cabin for spring break and they don't believe the first victim when she's saying we need to get out of here just because they're jerks or something. Here, the whole conceit of the movie is that they're at the cabin because the main character Mia is a drug addict and she wants to go clean. And the thing is, they're all there in a secluded location to support her as she goes through withdrawal, which is honestly a very simple and very smart way of being like, okay, this is why they're there. And then also, whenever it's the fan and she wants to leave, why they don't believe her and why they don't let her leave. it makes perfect sense because she's going through withdrawal. They believe, okay, she's going through withdrawal. She'll say anything to us to let her leave.
But is this kind of
That
like
makes perfect sense.
Disney remake sort of thing, where it's like
Sorry.
how in Disney remakes, they feel like they need to like answer questions, that were raised by the original.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it was necessary, and I don't think they really felt it was necessary, but I feel like it's a change that I do like. And here's the thing, I'd also like to note this is not a remake, this is a soft reboot that takes place in the continuity of Sam Raimi's trilogy.
Right, because a certain person shows up at the end, right?
Yes, and also the original plan for the Evil Dead franchise was after this, Sam Raimi was going to make Army of Darkness 2, and then Fede Alvarez would make a sequel to this reboot, and then there would be a crossover with Mia from this movie and Ash from the Evil Dead trilogy. That all kind of got swept away after Ash vs. Evil Dead happened, and then after that show got canceled, Bruce Campbell retired the character. Mm-hmm. And now there's a new Evil Dead movie coming out, Evil Dead Rise, I believe it's called.
Oh, they're actually making another one?
Yes, from the director of The Hole in the Ground. It's not going to be a cabin in the woods this time, which is interesting. I'm very curious to see what a new voice will do. Mm-hmm. And Fede Alvarez has gone on to do other stuff. He directed Don't Breathe, which I loved. I saw that in theaters. It scared the crap out of me. He directed The Girl in the Spider's Web, which I still haven't seen. I'm not planning on it because I'm just disappointed with how Sony treated Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. But yeah, Evil Dead, really good. 7 out of 10. Then I saw Dread from Pete Travis. I was kind of going through an Alex Garland kind of mood. I was in an Alex Garland mood. He wrote this movie, and
which one?
Dread.
Oh, yeah, okay.
With Carl Urban. It was said that he actually could have even qualified for a co-direction
yeah, I remember that
title, but he didn't take it. Mm-hmm. Even though because the thing is, it's unique because he wasn't in charge of filming at all. He was only in charge of post-production.
Right.
And this was also produced by Adi Shankar, the guy who produced like Castlevania and all that.
Oh, really? Like the Netflix show?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I really want to watch that show.
So good. So yeah, this stars Carl Urban as Judge Dredd, and he is awesome. And unlike Sylvester Stallone in the original Judge Dredd, he actually keeps his helmet on the whole time because he doesn't care about showing his face just to attract more people.
Yeah. Thanks,
I love Carl Urban in this movie. He's great. He's so fun. This movie's really entertaining. That's all I could really say. It's really dumb, and it's like over the top gritty, and I feel like that's what the appeal is. That's why I like it so much. It's just really entertaining.
Very different to what you're used to with Alex Garland.
Yeah, because the only other movie I've seen from him is Annihilation, which I liked overall, but I gave it only a 6 out of 10. I like this movie way more. I would watch this a third time, even. Annihilation, I doubt I'm even going to watch a second time. And I recently started watching Devs, and yeah, I have mixed feelings about that one as well.
Ooh, but how far have you gotten?
I'm on the 3rd episode.
Okay, well, maybe we can talk about this sometime.
We will, yeah. But yeah, I like Dread a lot. I gave it a 6 out of 10 on my first viewing, but I bumped it up to a 7. I really, really like this movie. I'd like to buy it on Blu-ray. Then I rewatched with my parents Wes Anderson's Fantastic Mr. Fox. 10 out of 10. It is still my favorite animated movie of all time. It's still my favorite Wes Anderson movie. This holds a lot of nostalgia for me. Mm-hmm. And I will always adore this movie. There was actually a weird thing that happened when we were watching this. We were going to watch it on I think what happened was my mom was going through our DVDs and just like she was asking me if I wanted to keep all of them, and I'm like, I'm not sure which of those I'd like to keep, but we're definitely keeping Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Do you have the Blu-ray or anything?
We have it on DVD. We bought the DVD from Blockbuster, which is part of the reason why I want to keep it, because Blockbuster.
Yeah.
I'm considering buying the Criterion, but Blockbuster, I'm sorry, I love it. We realized that and she's like, "You want to watch it?" And I'm like, "Okay, of course." And then I realized our DVD player downstairs was unplugged, so we were looking at where it could be streaming, and we realized it was on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's how I watched it all the way.
And I'm like, wait, how is it on Disney Plus? Then I took the DVD and I looked at the back. I'm like, oh, it's a Fox movie. That's why. Okay.
Did you know that they were going to actually make Fantastic Mr. Fox the mascot until Wes Anderson said, "That's really stupid. Don't do that."
Yeah.
Which is pretty smart.
Yeah. I love this movie. 10 out of 10. Then I watched Coherence, which we will discuss later.
Yeah.
And then I started watching Spike Lee's Old Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is wrong.
Everything is wrong.
I will finish it today. I will probably finish it today, but it is going to be emotionally draining, and I am going to want to die the whole time. 10 out of 10. No,
10
I'm giving it a 2 out of 10 for now because it's decently shot. Josh Brolin is very hit or miss in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I also rewatched Infinity War. I gave it an 8, I think.
Okay.
I'd keep it. I love it. It's one of my favorite, maybe my favorite MCU movie.
That's a good one.
It's top tier, at least. At the very least, it's top tier.
Yeah.
I am very impressed by the Russo brothers because they started off directing sitcom episodes like Community,
but they did the best
Development. And then they went on to do the Captain America movies, and then after Joss Whedon's like, yeah, I'm not making any more Avengers movies, I was very skeptical about these guys doing the Avengers movies because it's like, I don't think they're bad directors, but I don't know what experience they'll have. And holy crap, I think I think Infinity War is still the best Avengers movie.
Yeah, probably.
I like it more than Whedon's movies.
Yeah.
Sorry, Whedon.
Sorry, Whedon.
But apparently we're abusive, so I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Happy things.
Whedon. So my turn.
Take it or leave it. Yeah. It's your turn.
So first, really quick, I'll talk about the TV show I watched. I watched season 1 of Attack on Titan.
When your water breaks, you will go into labor. Whoosh.
Very high intro.
What? Yeah, it's one of my. It's the first anime I ever started watching.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people sort of did. That was sort of the gateway anime for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then, because it took 4 years for them to make season 2, people sort of lost interest because that season was also My Hero Academia season 2. And
really?
And the year before that was My Hero Academia, so people were already still on the My Hero Academia train.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, hey, it's Attack on Titan, and less people were excited, I guess.
I guess that's weird though.
But now that it's season 3, well, it's going into its last season now. They're making the 4th and final season. People are getting really hyped again.
Of Attack on Titan?
Yes, for Attack on Titan.
Yeah. I need to go back and watch them. I used to read the manga before I started watching the show, and then I just stopped reading the manga once we got Netflix. Shut up. We actually had the Blu-ray of the first half of season 1.
Yeah, I saw.
And then we got Netflix, and we realized, oh, it's all on Netflix, so we can just watch them here.
Yeah. Well, so I watched it subbed, and it was just always the anime that like I had heard about, and I wasn't really sure how much I would like it. I already knew one big spoiler from season 1.
Yeah, I know this is old, but let's keep it spoiler free.
The thing that happens in episode 5 that makes you go like, oh my goodness, that's crazy. But even then, I was still like, it was still well done overall, and I really liked it, and I think that just the way that it's such an action-packed show, even when not a lot happens, it feels like.
Yeah.
And I really do care about a lot of the characters, even though the main character is kind of a jerk.
He was really I honestly hated him at first. I thought he was really just irritating and whiny. Like overly so.
Right.
I mean, I
Yeah.
get it. He has a reason to be, especially like
Right.
at the end of the first episode. He has a very good reason to be so like hysterical, but like
Right.
he's just being a dick for no reason.
Yeah. But like you got Mikasa, you know,
Yeah.
and you got
Armin.
Huh?
Armin.
Yeah, Armin. Yeah, Armin White was there and he was great.
Armand White. He called Steve. He booed at Steve McQueen.
Yeah. Well, I really liked apparently a lot of people don't like Armin, but I thought he was great. I liked him.
He's an interesting character, but I would say like people like Mikasa. Out of those three, people like Mikasa the most.
Well, because she's the best.
I do. She is the best, like, because like Aaron's just kind of irritating.
Yeah.
Armin's he's very intelligent, but he's also kind of wimpy. And then Mikasa is just like the she takes no sh- She is not
best.
silent. She's not silent, but like she it's like she doesn't waste any time talking if she doesn't need to, you know?
Yeah. I feel like I was just following the show along, you know, and I was where it wanted me to be, you know. It had a hold on me. I was like, "Oh, what's going to happen next?" I always wanted to continue, you know. So,
yeah.
Really good, and the animation was really great. I love the
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
thick outline style of the show. Great. Mwah. Great.
Would you consider this to be a good gateway anime?
Yes, but I feel like the first couple episodes, it's so depressing and so
oh yeah, definitely.
so hopeless that it's not like it wasn't like any other anime I'd seen up to that point, because usually I don't watch anime that's that hopeless. You know, I usually see it as more fun.
Except for that time I made you watch the first episode of Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah,
Was awesome.
Agree to disagree. But there was a part in a couple episodes in where like a couple of soldiers are like stocked up at a library, you know, trying to hide from the Titans, and one of them is like, you know, like polishing their gun, you know, and trying to make it work. And everyone's like really freaked out, but he's just kind of like doing that, you know, trying to do it. And he's like, I did it. And then a girl beside him was like, what are you going to do with that? I mean, we can't defeat the Titans. And then he just puts it in his mouth.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was...
And then just like blows his head off, like right beside her.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That was pretty... that was impactful. And do you remember Marco?
Oh yeah, Marco.
I know it's basically become a meme at this point. At least like me and my like at Klein Oak, my friends and I, we absolutely love this show, and we were I kind of hung out with the weebs. Yeah, not a bad thing, but they were really cool, and we would always just make jokes like you know, Marco,
yeah,
he's half the man he used to be.
Hilarious.
And shit like that. It was messed up. It would get my friend every time. He would just want to, like, I could tell by his face, he just wanted to kill me.
Yeah.
Shout out my boy Alex Prentice. I love you, man.
What's up, Alex Prentice? It's your boy.
Not. I mean, I think that was his last name. I don't remember. I'm sorry, dude.
I didn't get that attached over Marcos, I guess, because
yeah,
because it was obvious he was a disposable character who was supposed to be happy. It was
like,
hi, I'm Marcos, I'm not gonna die. But what got to me was how the other guy responded to it. There's the guy.
Exactly. That was the whole interaction.
I want to be part of the military police, you know, and I'm
was
not
it Jean?
Yeah, something like that. I forget their name.
Yeah,
sorry. But yeah, I don't want to dwell on this for too long. We probably talked about this way too long.
All I want to say is, like, whenever they burn Whenever they finally cremate Marco, that scene was impactful. Just his reaction was all. And also just Sasha. Can we just talk about Sasha, please?
Oh, was
The
that
girl who steals the potato.
Potato Girl?
Oh
Yeah.
my god, Potato Girl, let's go!
Oh, move over me.
Potato! Potatoes! Peel,
Oh.
burn 'em, stick 'em in a stew.
Okay.
Okay,
So for actual movies and actual art, not that weeb stuff.
You take that back.
Okay. Attack on Titan season 1. I give it a 9 out of 10.
That's better.
Okay. I watched The Godfather, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, directed in 1972.
Best picture winner.
Yep. And it was great. I understand why people love it so much. It made me appreciate other mom movies I had seen up to that point a little bit more.
Real like which ones?
Like Goodfellas. You know?
Okay. Did you think that was more like a Great Fellas now?
Yeah, I liked it a little bit more, but it's just like Goodfellas was so long and it felt long.
Yeah, Scorsese does that a lot.
But this one, like, even though it was long, it didn't feel crazy long. The only part that kind of dragged a little bit was when they went to Italy. You know?
Yeah, that was I mean, I still love that scene, but yeah.
Yeah, but great movie. There's not really a lot I can say about it. It's just like the story is really interesting and
The score is beautiful.
yeah. That's a spicy meatball. 9 out of 10.
Very good. Wow, 9. Okay.
9 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I watched Wes Anderson's Rushmore from
Ooh.
1998, and I thought that was really good too. That would be my like 4th Wes Anderson movie and my second live action one.
What are the other ones? Oh, okay, never mind. Then I know what the other ones are.
Yeah. So this is like one of his first ones. His first one was Bottle Rocket, but he and Owen Wilson wrote this movie.
Oh, really? I actually had no idea about that.
Owen Wilson helped a lot write a lot of his movies, or at least his earlier ones.
Yeah. So did Noah Baumbach was kind of a Wes Anderson protege.
Yeah. And I just really liked Rushmore. I thought it was very charming, and I thought that the whole idea was kind of funny. It feels like I watched a movie this year called Timmy Failure, Boy Genius. No, Timmy Failure, Detective or something like that. I forget what it was called, but it was based on a children's book that I really liked by a cartoonist I liked.
Oh, I think I might have actually heard of those.
Right, and those books are really funny because it's about a kid who like thinks that he's actually a lot smarter and cooler than he actually is, and he's so delusional to like everything that's going on around him. That's just really funny and self-aware, I feel.
Okay, then that last part's not me.
Well, I feel that kind of way about Rushmore because it's basically about a kid who like he's really good at everything, like with all the clubs and stuff, but he's just not good at school and being like a normal human being, you know?
Yeah.
And I just find that really funny.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah.
I think that the story works for what it's supposed to be, and it has all the Wes Anderson charm that you want, you know, all the quirk.
Yeah. Curious, what was the other live action Anderson movie that you've seen?
The Royal Tenenbaums.
Oh, I've only seen his 4 most recent ones.
And I think I like this one a little bit more than the Royal Tenenbaums.
Really?
Yeah, I like the Royal Tenenbaums a lot, but I think that I just connected with this one a little bit more. And I thought it was funnier. Like, it was more consistently funny.
Okay. So, out of the 4 that you've ranked, what would you... The 4 that you've seen, what would... If you were to rank them, what would you...
Okay. So, last place would probably be Isle of Dogs, but I also haven't seen Isle of Dogs in a while.
Okay.
Then the Royal Tenenbaums, then Rushmore, then in first place is Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yeah, boy.
Ah, yeah.
Out
So
of the ones
yeah,
I've seen, I would. Sorry, this is your section.
yeah.
Shit.
I mean, you already talked about like what 8 movies.
9, maybe
So yeah,
10.
shut up,
Okay.
doofus. Ooh. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for Rushmore.
Wow.
I liked it.
Wow.
Bill Murray was pretty funny in it too. I like how he got into a very petty squabble with a 15-year-old who does not look 15, but it was funny.
Was it Jason Schwartzman?
Yeah, Jason Schwartzman played a 15-year-old in this.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like a. So I didn't really believe him, but hey, 7 years,
Yeah.
in a digestive tract for 7 years.
Yeah, it's like whenever I see the kids from Riverdale. Like I first watched Riverdale when I was I think 15 or 16. And apparently the characters were also 15, 16. And I'm like, okay, whoa, those guys are
Like,
10 years older than
no,
me.
you're
Like I'm pretty sure they were all like 25
Yeah.
or something. And I mean, I understand why they're older than 18 because of some of the questionable stuff that's in Riverdale. But
Right,
really, you couldn't cast someone like Tom Holland. At least looks like a teenager.
Yeah.
Like
So
you can buy Tom Holland as like 16. Sorry.
next, I watched 2 Tim Burton movies.
Okay.
It's 2 Batman movies.
No, Batman.
Yeah.
Batman and Robin. Oh wait, no, Tim Burton.
No, that's Joel Schumacher.
Rest in peace, man.
Yeah, rest in peace. So yeah, first I'll talk about 1989's Batman, directed by Tim Burton, and I thought it was pretty good. Maybe a little bit. I think I was a little overhyped on it,
Yeah, it's dated.
which is weird because no one really talks about this Batman anymore.
The only Batman people really talk about are Batfleck or Dark Knight.
And no one really talks about Batfleck anymore. Really, it's really just all
Just me. Okay.
Yeah, it's all Christopher Nolan's game now.
Because I mean, he made 3. Okay, well, he made one really good Batman. He made 2 really good Batman movies and one groundbreaking Batman movie.
Right. This one was really nostalgic for me because I played the Lego Batman games,
Same here.
games, and it has the same score as them. So as
that score.
Batman score was like da 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 da.
Yeah, Danny Elfman's score.
Yeah, Danny Elfman. Good job with that.
Danny Elfman and Tim Burton most of the time are just fantastic. Like a great pair. It's like Steven Spielberg and John Williams.
I feel really bad for Tim Burton.
Why?
Because he's gone so off the rails recently.
Oh yeah, he hasn't made a good movie in years,
But the thing
which really
is,
sucks.
People will say that, people say that he hasn't made a good movie since Ed Wood, which is untrue. Because you got such classics as because some
Big
people
Fish.
Big Fish and Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, Sweeney Todd is absolutely. It's not perfect, but I absolutely adore it.
And Frankenweenie,
Corpse Bride. I thought people really liked Corpse Bride.
Right, but people don't remember those. They always remember the
Sleepy.
bad ones.
Yeah, it's like, what about Sleepy Hollow? Didn't people like Sleepy Hollow?
Yeah, I think so.
And Big Eyes. I think that's like the least Tim Burton movie ever, though.
Right.
With Christoph Waltz and Amy Adams.
When people think of Tim Burton now, it's just like, oh yeah, I remember Edward Scissorhands and Ed Wood, but I also remember how he directed Dark Shadows and Alice in Wonderland and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Dumbo.
Okay, don't stop dissing Alice in Wonderland. I like that movie, although I accept that it's bad.
Well, you should, because it is. So
it is
right and wrong at the same time. How do you do this?
I can enjoy bad movies. You enjoy the guy who didn't like musicals.
Shut up.
It's not even a movie. Okay.
Anyway, yeah, the big draw for this Batman movie is Jack Nicholson's performance as the Joker, which is great.
I love him so much. He's a great Joker.
I even liked I liked the cheesiness, but it was just sort of not quite it didn't have the story. It did not have the good story that I was looking for in a Batman movie.
I feel like with these Batman movies, especially like the Tim Burton and the Joel Schumacher ones, they're less about the story and more about the overall spectacle and goofiness.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a bad thing at all, as long as you hone those very well. And I feel like the Tim Burton movies do a great job. Schumacher movies, not at all.
Which is the weird thing because so I give this one a 6 out of 10. You know, I
Okay.
give Batman '89 6 out of 10, but Batman Returns I actually liked a lot better.
I think it's so underrated. Like, seriously, people do not appreciate it as much as they should, I feel.
Batman Returns, I feel like, is goofy enough for it to, like, it works. I feel like it works. Whenever there was like, oh hey, the Penguin's gonna run for mayor, and he's like eating like a raw fish. It's like, this is hilarious. This is great.
Yes, like Danny DeVito's Penguin is just awesome.
Danny DeVito, bravo, man.
I mean, we could have just stopped at Danny DeVito is awesome, but like,
Yeah,
holy crap, he was great here.
Catwoman was great. Christopher Walken was great.
I forgot Christopher Walken was in the movie.
I even like the story a lot better. I thought that it was more interesting having all these different perspectives. I think that the extra villain sort of helped it out, you know, because instead of just it being the Joker, now you got, you know, two villains.
Well, would you consider or would Catwoman just be
I
more
know
like an anti-hero, and then she just turns good?
But it's at least another super character, you know? It's another vigilante person, whatever.
Yeah.
And she was really interesting in how there was sort of a weird thing with her and Christopher Walken because, you know, if Christopher Walken was
killed her.
Yeah, exactly. And you have the split personality stuff that they do.
Yeah, and she gives like a real. I really like the costume for her. It's very. It feels right at home in a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah.
And she is very. She's not over the top, but she is very. Like, kind of. She has like her sinister moments, but also she is very. Just like. She doesn't need to try, but I think she really comes across as like suave.
So, like, Tim Burton didn't want to make another Batman movie, but then the studio was like, "Hey, you can do whatever you want this time," and Tim Burton was like, "Oh, really?" And then he just made like an
insane movie,
fetish movie, pretty much.
It's not as much as a fetish movie as Batman and Robin.
Well. Yeah, but this one is still pretty good. I still give it a 6 out of 10, but I like it better than the original.
Yeah, it is really, it's really awesome. Also, I want to note, we didn't mention this when you were talking about the first movie. Mm-hmm. The scene where Batman like falls through a ceiling and you can very obviously see the wire. Have you noticed that?
No.
The scene with Jack Nicholson's Joker where he's just like, boom.
I watched it once.
And Batman.
Break.
What?
I've only seen it once. I didn't notice it that one time. So
I've only seen it once. I only noticed because I looked it up because I looked up that scene on YouTube and when he crashed through the window, I'm like, wait, is that a wire? Yeah.
Well, I didn't see
Eagle eyes. I'm an eagle-eyed viewer.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, I watched a musical about our founding fathers. You know. And trying to get independence from Britain. Of course, I'm talking about 1776.
New York City.
Pardon me, are you Aaron Burr, sir?
That depends. Who's asking?
Oh, sure, sir. My name is Alexander Hamilton. I'm at your service, sir. I have been looking for you.
I'm getting nervous.
Sir? Yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah, we get it.
Whatever. So, I was trying to make it so it's like, oh, you think I'm talking about Hamilton, but no. Hamilton's actually a ripoff. I tricked you. The real deal is 1776.
New York City?
No, it's, well, yeah.
Is it an actual thing called 17? Oh my god.
Yeah, there was a 1972 musical called 1776 about John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, and Benjamin Franklin trying to get it all takes place during the Continental Congress during 1776, and it's a musical about them trying to get everyone to agree to try to declare independence, because it has to be like all states have to vote for yes.
Right.
So they try to convince everybody, and they have to try to write the Declaration of Independence. You know?
They don't steal the Declaration of Independence?
Yeah.
That'd be a better plot.
I have to steal it.
National Treasure actually should be a musical. I would love if National Treasure was made into a musical and Nicolas Cage actually came back.
Well, so you know how the first National Treasure was, I gotta steal the Declaration of Independence, and the second one is, I gotta kidnap the president.
I gotta steal the president.
I gotta steal the president. What's the third one gotta be? What do you gotta do in the third one?
Oh my gosh. I have to steal Obama's birth certificate.
Oh no.
Oh, no. Oh my god. I'm sorry. That was just...
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh my god, that would be great.
1776. It's really good. I liked it. It's not as good as Hamilton, obviously, because the songs aren't all amazing.
Crap.
There's some. No, they're not crap, but they're.
No, I mean they aren't rap.
Right, they're not rap. That would be pretty funny.
Lame.
But this is just like a funny, charming retelling of, of history that they do. Like they do talk about some of the tougher subjects, but it's more in a passing by sort of thing, kind of like what they did with Hamilton.
Right.
But the Benjamin Franklin, he is a hilarious character, and they kind of it's like a big song number where everyone hates John Adams because he's so obnoxious.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's Paul Giamatti.
Right.
Wait.
No, it's not. It's William Daniels.
No, it's Paul Giamatti. Have you seen John Adams on HBO?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everyone says to sit down, John, which is, sort of a reference sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So wait, which came out first?
1776 came out first. It came out.
Okay.
The movie came out in 1972. But it's not
okay.
Because Hamilton, it doesn't even go through the Continental Congress,
Because Hamilton is just art. Yo.
And 1976 is just fart, yo.
Oh.
But no, it was actually really good. I give it 7 out of 10.
Okay. Oh, also, I wanted to know, the whole, what's Nick Cage gonna steal in the third movie joke? I actually have a better one.
Okay, what is it?
We're gonna steal Hillary Clinton's deleted emails.
That's a good joke.
No, we're gonna steal the entire Oval Office.
That'd be pretty funny.
That would be okay. No, if you can possibly edit this, just like we're gonna steal the entire Oval Office.
Well, I don't know why they would need to do that, because in the second one they broke into the Oval Office.
Shut up
from the desk.
Shut up, Matt.
Okay.
We stole the entirety of Washington D.C.
Yep.
We stole the Vatican.
They take all of Washington D.C. under hostage.
White House down.
Yeah,
Olympus has fallen.
If they are the guys who did that, like they're the bad guys in that situation.
Oh wow! They just magically turned into Jason Clarke and my friend's uncle. My friend's uncle was actually in that movie, so that's pretty cool.
Oh wow!
That movie was ass, but like.
Which one?
White House Down. I haven't seen Olympus Has Fallen. I heard that was a lot better.
Oh no, I like the one with Channing Tatum a lot better.
Oh, I hated that movie. I thought it was boring.
Well, then you probably won't like the other one. Anyway.
Yeah, I probably won't like Zodiac. I didn't think I would like Zodiac's from the same writer.
Oh yeah.
I think. Yeah. Anyway, are we going to talk about coherence?
Ooh. Yeah.
So, now that we're done talking about what we watched this week,
Let's
now
talk
it's
about
time for us to talk about our movie.
Yep.
So, my recommendation. Okay, here's the thing. Should I call it a recommendation? I'm really debating that because I didn't really recommend this movie. I've never seen this before.
Well, you should
Just
probably. We'll say that
assignments,
was
maybe.
your pick. Whatever. Your pick
Yeah.
for the
Okay.
movie.
My pick for us to discuss is 2013's Coherence, directed by quote unquote written and directed by James Ward Burkett. This is the only movie he's directed, but he has a story writing credit for Rango,
Yeah, I saw
which
that.
is very interesting. Crap, where is it? Okay, from 2013, on the night of an astronomical anomaly, 8 friends at a dinner party experience a troubling chain of reality-bending events.
Oh,
This is a
dang.
sci-fi thriller. And what did you think?
I thought it was great.
I thought,
I really liked it.
yeah, it's a pretty good movie. Fun fact that I was gonna save: this movie stars Lauren Scafaria. She's dating Bo Burnham,
Oh.
and she's the writer director of Hustlers, The Meddler, and I thought this would be funny for us. Seeking a Friend for the End of the World.
Oh, hey, it's like the.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like it's like her thing.
What was her name again?
Lauren Scafaria. She played Lee.
So yeah, this movie is very.
Good.
Yeah, it's very good. Very strange.
Yeah.
There's stuff I didn't like about it as much, but there's some stuff that. There's stuff in this movie that. Like the tagline for this movie is "Nothing is random," and there is some stuff I thought was random earlier on that makes a lot more sense as the movie goes on.
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean?
Okay, so basically there's a part, well, not a part I guess, but when they're all talking, there's this editing thing where
Yes, I wanted to. Yeah, that was an
where-
issue.
no, that's not an issue because it makes sense now to me.
Yeah, no, sorry. Remember when I texted you? I have like I was like 20 minutes in. I'm like, I have kind of one issue with them in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turned out I realized later. Oh, okay, so that is intentional.
Right. Okay, so
Yeah.
The basic premise of this movie is that during a comet, they find out that there's basically 2 of their houses. They're in like this weird zone where
The Twilight Zone.
right, where there's like a copy of their house and
Themselves.
themselves. And basically they do things pretty much the same. Like they're basically doing the same stuff but with small differences.
Like the color of the glow sticks that they would use, they come across like they have blue glow sticks, and they come across a version of themselves with red glow sticks.
Right. And when I was there, I was like, okay, cool. That's like a neat premise.
It's
Maybe
freaky,
it's gonna be like Us or something like that, you know?
but better.
Right. But then it grows and like there's more conspiracy and stuff like that until we basically find out there is pretty much an infinite amount of them.
Yeah, and it's bizarre. It is very, very strange. I don't understand. I don't fully understand it.
Oh, well, I guess you're dumb.
I feel like by the point Emily left the house, like one of the main character like left, I kind of was like, okay, what's going on?
Wait, like near the end?
Yeah, that's where I got a little confused.
Oh, that made perfect sense to me.
Shut up, Matt.
Okay, sorry.
Stop making me look dumb. I'm not
Mm,
dumb. You're dumb.
yeah, that's true. But
Poopy peepee head.
no, my weakness. Oh no.
Ow,
And-
now. Okay.
So they find out there's basically an infinite amount of them, and every time they leave the house, they basically end up at a different house, essentially.
Yeah, in an alternate reality.
Right, alternate reality house.
Dude, did they dig on multiverses?
Dude, maybe in another multiverse, neither of us farted.
Wish Upon 2017, one of the best bad movies ever. I had to quote.
Yeah, maybe maybe in another multiverse, you didn't say that weird thing about Bo Burnham.
Well, but I didn't, because you're gonna edit that out, right?
But maybe in another universe, I didn't.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
That's gonna be like the whole deal.
That's
why
that's funny. You know,
that's why
there's a universe where you're actually funny.
that's why I had that review that I did where I was like, I like that Borat, but I also didn't simultaneously because there was a Borat reference.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware. My life. That's me quoting both Borat and Coherence.
Yes.
See that's a twofer.
Now you can look smart because when you say my life, people will be like, "Oh, is that a Borat reference?" And you'd be like,
"No, it's a Coherence reference."
No, it's from this little movie called Coherence.
It's from a little independent science fiction thriller called Coherence, not Borat. You dumbass. This is why total MIT mood.
So I was trying to explain this movie to my brothers, and basically I figured out the best way to explain it is, you probably haven't seen it, but there's this one episode of Rick and Morty where they split the timelines, and basically on the screen they show like 30 different Ricks and Mortys, like in their like a grid, you know?
Sure.
And each one, they're doing basically the exact same thing except one difference. So like,
okay.
On the top left, there would be like a thing where it's like Summer is on the right side and Morty is on the left side. But then there would be one where they switched, or they shoot somewhere else, or something like that. You know,
right?
The whole Schrodinger's cat kind of thing, which they make reference to in that episode and in this movie.
Yeah, even Community actually.
Oh yeah, with that
apparently reference this. I read that they reference it in this. They reference this movie.
That was a great episode.
And I'd also like to. Sorry, after you're done talking about Community.
That's known as the best episode of Community for most people. Like, it won a Hugo Award, I think, or like some kind of award for like being so genius. Because basically the premise of that one is they're like, one of us has to go downstairs to get pizza, and they roll a die to see who does it. And there's 7 different possibilities for who goes downstairs to get the pizza, and each time like different stuff happens to make it.
Why would there be 7?
Because in one timeline they don't let the die roll.
Oh, okay.
Because they realized that Jeff was like trying to make it to where he didn't have to do it at all.
Oh, okay, I get it.
How do you feel about the dialogue?
The dialogue? That's actually my favorite aspect of the movie, I would say.
Wow.
Because the thing is, it felt very unscripted, but in a good way. And then I actually looked it up, and James Ward Burkett didn't really write a script. He wrote more of like a sort of, here's what happens, here's where each scene starts, each scene ends, here's where, like, point A to point Z, you guys fill in the rest.
Right. The dialogue felt very natural.
Yeah, and he would add a little bit of, okay, at this point you're going to kind of be a jerk, but be a jerk in your own way with the creator that you have, with what am I saying? With the character that you have crafted through your performance.
Yeah. They felt
I really like that kind of somewhat hands-off type of directing. Like Gaspar Noé, how he did that in Climax was very well done.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that.
There's kind of a way to how they talk that feels like they're all stumbling over each other and trying to make themselves, more the center of attention, or making the little jokes that feel like they feel like lame jokes at each other, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
Which is, there's always a place for like Joss Whedon quips, where it's like, the action movie lines or like the little comedy clips that are really smart and well done. But there's also a place for stories where you just like you can be all natural,
Exactly. And I really like whenever, because I mean, also just it enhances the relationships between the characters, because if anything, the relationship, it's not like the actors really even have to fake the characters' relationships, because they're basically just, if like two characters hate each other, like, okay, what the hell am I saying? That's not what I mean. Point is, they can, like, the chemistry really feels like it's there because the ad-libbing is very well done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and this was a very cheap movie. It was only made for $50,000, I believe.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
And it was just directed in it was in the director's house.
Yeah.
It's
Probably
impressive. This is impressive.
probably all the money was used for like cameras and lighting, maybe getting
Yeah.
some actors and maybe some of the stuff that happens near the end,
Yeah, and the thing was, he actually co-wrote the story with the guy who plays Amir.
Mm-hmm.
So they co-wrote the story, and he was just like, "Okay, let's film this in my house." And and the thing was, he's like, "Okay, we're gonna make this a sci-fi movie out of necessity more than anything." And what I really like is he tried to make this movie somewhat scientifically accurate as much as possible. It feels more like Shane Carruth's Primer. It feels like it would probably represent Shane Carruth's Primal in that sense. Primer, not Primal, Primer.
Mm-hmm.
Where
Right.
like he tried to make the sci-fi more grounded, which I love whenever they go that extra mile.
Right. It starts off because it's basically like a what if kind of movie because obviously a comet isn't going to make this happen, you know?
You don't know that.
Well, but
Yeah.
building off that, the possibilities and trying to keep, just sort of like a hypothetical sort of situation and building off that for your movie. Because
Yeah.
there's sort of thing where it's like, at first it's like, oh, hey, are we getting like a home invasion or something? Because there's the creepy box that has our faces on it,
Yeah, it's very
all the
it's a
phones are
very
knocked out.
strange. Yeah, there are numbers on them. Whenever Amir and Hugh come back, Hugh has he has a cut on his head. Which, by the way, I don't even remember how. Did it ever say for sure how he got that?
Well, later he says how he just got the cut or something like that. Like from like it's like a weird thing. So like basically when he first comes back with the cut, he is from a different timeline or a different reality where he
Right.
had already had that cut before.
That is that is a different Hugh and Amir.
Right, because he was saying like he didn't explain how he got his head cut like that, so he had already had that, and then he got the Band-Aid instead of the cloth, But then whenever then someone else comes back later, and Amir comes back later and says how he tripped on something,
Right.
But then he asks like, "Wait, you already told us this story."
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's really fascinating and very interesting. Like the scene, at the very beginning of the movie, wherever they first get to the house and they're just having like a normal conversation, and then later after they're freaked out if Hugh's car window I think got smashed, and then Emily goes back in the house and they're having that exact same conversation from the beginning of the movie, and I'm like, okay, what is going on?
Yeah.
I'm very confused, and how Emily finds out it's very, very interesting. Like, because the whole thing is, out of all the characters, only two of them are the crap. What is it? Are the correct versions? Because the thing is, everybody else is a visitor. It's bizarre. So bizarre. I want to talk about the ending because I feel kind of weird about that. It's strange.
Yeah.
Do you get the ending?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, can you explain? Because I don't really get it.
Well, basically, we're talking about all this like stuff where it's like they find out pretty late on that pretty much everyone that is in that house is from a different reality. Or
Yes,
like
except for the two that never left.
right, except for the two that never left. But in the end, it doesn't really matter. Like all that, because they're pretty much the same. There's really
Mm-hmm.
no big differences at all. And like she leaves the house and she just like wanders and looks through all the different realities that are happening at that moment where things get a lot worse in a
Mm-hmm.
lot of situations where people are tied up and people are dead,
Yeah, pretty much all of them are. Yeah, that's.
stuff like
Oof.
that. And she basically, because they're already way too lost to ever get back to whatever reality they could call their own.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes to a house where it's near the beginning of the night, where they haven't like discovered any of the stuff yet. They haven't had the blackout yet.
Right.
Basically, the best possible timeline
Mm-hmm.
at that point. And she goes ahead and tries to assassinate herself,
She beats the crap out of herself. Yeah.
right, to try to take over her life.
Yeah.
And in the end, basically, in that timeline, it was just sort of a survive the night kind of thing. It wasn't really gonna last forever. It wasn't.
Right.
And she wakes up the next day and she's in that reality and she's all good.
Because she
But
fainted from the ketamine, I believe.
right. But her self from that reality escaped and the she calls the husband or boyfriend or whatever.
Oh, that's what happened.
Like, because it's
Okay.
like, hey, I'm getting a call. It's from
It's
you.
from you.
It's from you. And she's like, and he goes like, hello. And then he kind of,
You can
because
see like he's suspicious, so I'm guessing that it's because he hears her voice.
right, he hears her like say something like, don't trust, like there's a fake me or something like that. Something
Oh,
that they
like
never found out.
did you do you actually hear audio?
No, you don't hear anything, but that's just what you can kind of infer.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
wow. Okay. So there is okay. Okay.
because you could. That's kind of like the whole like point, I think, where all this like little stuff, like all these little details, didn't really matter because it's like, oh, you're from the house where it's like 1 4 5 6 6 3, but you ended up at 3 3 5 4 1 2. You know,
I
and
really like how that was I think that was a very interesting way of depicting like okay, these are visitors, these are the people who were here the whole time. That was
right.
very clever. I'm a little confused about geez, what was it? The little item that is also in the
Oh,
box.
they made that to where because they thought that there might be a possibility where like they were trying to make sure that they were the only ones that could um be there, I guess. Like they were the only, so they wouldn't get confused, so they could find their house again. So they
Yeah,
did the numbers, but they also put like a random item in. So they were like, just look around the house, find a random item. So
right. Yeah.
for the house that they took, because they stole the box the first time. Remember how they stole the box?
Yes, they stole the box from the other house and they
Well,
found the ping pong paddle and the pictures.
and the pictures would always be there. In every reality, the pictures are there, but there's a different number written on the back.
Yeah, the numbers would be different, except for I think Lee and I think it's just like the two characters who never leave the house.
Right. And so they, for like at the end when they're like, okay, we need to do the exact same thing as they did, because we found the box in our house. They put the coaster in it.
Right. Okay. Yeah, this is, oh my gosh, this movie is definitely going to be something that I'm going to have to watch again or read an explanation or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday I actually did find an explanation sort of diagram.
But that's the thing, it's a movie where I felt like during the middle of the movie, I was like, okay, I think I get it. I think that they're changing realities a lot, Like whenever they cut to this house, this isn't the same house as in the beginning of the movie, or whatever. And I was trying to keep ahead of that.
Are you saying that's why the cuts to black were there?
Yeah, that's why the cuts to black were there, because every time, it cut every conversation, but that was like a different reality. That's like before I was like, that's a weird editing choice, but then I was like, oh my goodness, it's showing the different realities, because that's why it's black, because it's not only passing through time, but to a different house.
I'm gonna have to watch this again. I'm really gonna have to watch this again.
But the thing is, during the middle of the movie, I was trying to keep ahead of it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be one step ahead of this movie. Is this guy from this house? Was he really there the whole time? Why is there red glow sticks? But then, sort of near the end, kind of at the same time as the girl, what was her name? I forget.
Emily?
Emily, the only memorable character besides the guy who wants to kill themselves, basically. Well, kill their other realities.
Oh, okay. I think that's Mike.
Right. It just sort of it doesn't really matter. Despite all these little flaws and little differences and all this paranoia, it is just, it's pointless to think about the little differences like that. It's sort of like a whole Rick and Morty thing where, they go to a new reality after they died, and it's it doesn't matter. It's still the same place. It
is very bizarre.
Very bizarre, very dark, but,
very interesting, and very interesting. I'm definitely gonna have to watch this again to get a full understanding of what happened.
Yeah.
And I do really like movie, and that's the thing about this movie. This isn't like other movies where you have to understand everything. You have to understand every nuance and all of that you have to get all of that to like the movie. But this is a movie that I enjoy enough to want to go back and understand.
Yeah.
For example, I did not really understand whatchamacallit. What's that movie called? Capone. I didn't understand it, but it was bad. It was honestly really bad, and I have no reason to want to go back to it. This is a movie that is really good, and I would want to go back to it. So, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a really good movie. I really liked it.
Yep. I give it an 8 out of 10. There's little problems I have with it, not because a lot of the dialogue is improv. Not every line's going to be
a hit.
Not everything's going to be a hit, and also there's one little plot hole-ish sort of thing where the guy who knew the most about the comet, saying I gotta get to my brother because he knows all about it, so he knew a little bit more about it. Yeah. He got mad at Mike for sleeping with his wife, even though that Mike was trying to explain the real reality and how he didn't do it. So
I mean, but it is a good point because wasn't it doesn't Mike even say it doesn't it doesn't matter which reality I'm from. There isn't a reality where I didn't sleep with your wife.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Doesn't he say that?
Basically.
Which is, again, really confusing.
Every reality, that was sort of the point where she left and was like, whatever, I'm done with this because...
Oh, but wait. Okay, so the thing is, that's only because, crap, what is it? Because the whole thing is... Sorry, dude. So... the whole thing is all of these realities were caused because of the comet passing.
Right.
Without the comet passing, there wouldn't be these alternate realities really just doing this thing. So the only reason why there are these alternate realities is because of the comet. Therefore, and the thing was, the whole affair thingamabob was like, what, a year prior to the events of the movie, something like that. Ultimately, there is no reality where he didn't sleep with the other guy's wife.
Right, but what if they are from different realities where, like, stuff is already different there? Because
is that?
So okay, wait. So was time? Yeah, this is why I didn't want to think about it that much. Like,
oh my god, this movie's insane.
I wasn't trying to like turn my brain off or anything. I wasn't trying to do like a Mauler kind of thing, but I was like I was trying to keep in with what I was doing, but I guess so. Like now I have some questions, but it's not like plot hole questions. They're just like, huh, is it like this or like this? But the thing is that even that doesn't make a difference.
This is awesome. This is honestly really awesome. I have a lot more respect for this movie, like even more now.
Yeah.
I really love movies that are just like you think like you're thinking about it and you're just like, oh no, this is a clear explanation. Hey, wait a minute. But then this doesn't. Okay, never mind. It's not that clear cut of an explanation. I love this. This is great.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot deeper. The rabbit hole goes a lot deeper, and I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. Really good.
I'm giving this a very, very, very high 7.
Okay, cool.
I mean, high 7, so I'll probably bump it up to an 8. Yeah. But hey, who knows?
Who knows?
It could be a 7. It could be an 8. It could be a 6. Okay, no, that's a joke. It's not going to be a 6. That's
maybe in another reality.
I can guarantee.
You gave it an 8.
Maybe in another reality, neither of us farted.
Yeah, I already made that joke, dummy. Maybe
not in my reality. You didn't make that joke in my reality.
Whoa.
And in the reality in which you made that joke, I didn't make that joke because I understand that that's a dumb joke to make when you've already made it.
I'm not even sure if this is going to work in an audio medium, but this is...
Exactly, it's not. Maybe it's not. Maybe in your reality it will, maybe in my reality it won't. Who's to say?
Goodness.
Matt, who is to say? For sure.
The Bible.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah.
Who's to say?
Well,
who?
Yeah, the Bible, exactly. I answered
Maybe everybody who wrote the Bible.
Yes.
Okay, that's fair. I just wish you said that instead of just the Bible, because that's a collection of books, not a person.
I'll tell you.
It's an audiobook. Okay, that's actually well said. Well done, Matt.
I outsmarted you once again.
Don't get used to it.
Okay. So I guess it's time for recommendations again?
Yes, it is. And it's you.
Yeah. All right. So I have a lot of options. I wasn't quite sure what to do for this one. I was sort of going back and forth,
Yeah.
Because you haven't done your miniseries yet. You haven't gotten to do your miniseries, and I haven't gotten to do my double feature.
Oh, so are you going to do a double feature?
At some point, I will.
Okay.
But anyway, I think I'm going to go with a film feature debut, from 1999, one of my favorite movies of all time. Brad Bird's The Iron Giant.
I don't know how I haven't gotten around to watching that movie yet.
It's on HBO.
This is another one. Thank you for doing another one that I've been planning on watching but never have. So your recommendation ultimately forces me to do it. Thank you for that.
Yep.
Second time in a row.
In the small town of Rockwell, Maine, in October 1957, a giant metal machine befriends a 9-year-old boy and ultimately finds humanity by unselfishly saving people from their own fears and prejudices. So, starring Vin Diesel, Jennifer Aniston, Harry Connick Jr., and Christopher McDonald. Oh, and
Did you say wait? You said Vin Diesel, right?
yeah, Vin Diesel. He plays the Iron Giant himself.
It's about family.
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah.
You
so
know.
yeah, a really good movie, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Brad Bird.
it's the best mecha anime ever made.
In America?
Yes.
Doesn't it take place in like World War? Is it World War II or is it the Cold War?
It's during the Cold War, 1957.
Wait, 57. Okay, Cold War.
Yeah, Cold War.
Oh wait, the Cold War wasn't even really a war per se. So
Right, exactly.
You sure it's Cold War?
Yeah, no, it's definitely the Cold War. I've seen this movie enough to know it's a lot of Cold War talk.
I don't believe you. Are you sure it's the Cold War? It's okay.
Shut up. Okay.
It's during the Cold War.
It's funny, it's emotional, it's really well animated, and it's Brad Bird, you know?
Brad Bird, baby?
Brad Bird, baby. A Brad Bird baby.
Jack Jack?
Yes.
Jack.
I mean, who doesn't want to be a little boy who pilots a robot, you know?
Oh, I thought you were about to say who doesn't want to be Jack Jack? I thought you were going to make a Jack Jack joke.
Speaking of pilots, da 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 pilot school.
Yeah.
All right, 3 spins of the wheel. We'll see what we're going to be watching this week. We're not watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
We're
not watching Gurren Lagann. But we are watching... What? What is this? Murder in the First?
Oh, I've heard that's a good crime show.
All right. Was it on?
Hulu.
Okay, Murder in the First.
Oh yeah, Tom Felton, Draco Malfoy's in this season.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Draco Malfoy, someone suspected of murdering someone, I think. I don't know.
Okay, I thought you were talking about in real life, and I was like, whoa, wait.
Yeah, wait a minute. All good, just a week ago. No, sorry.
All right, so next week we'll be watching The Iron Giant, Murder in the First, and we'll be doing a commentary track pretty soon. Well, I'll be releasing the one on Friday the 13th pretty soon. But
yes,
we'll also be doing one on Trey Parker's Cannibal the Musical.
Is it only Trey Parker? Is Matt Stone not involved?
Matt Stone is in it. He's not like he.
Oh, but he didn't write it.
He's just an actor in it.
Fair enough. Demoted.
He's very funny in that, though.
Was he demoted or was he just not promoted yet?
Well, like it was like in college, basically.
Okay, fair enough. So was it before South Park?
Yes, it was before South Park. It was like basically for like a college project. He made a fake trailer for Cannibal the Musical.
Oh, and then he made that into an actual thing.
Right, then after college, he made that into a real thing.
That's really funny. That's actually really cool. That sounds like something. That sounds like something Trey Parker would do.
Yep.
Trey Parker, the best part of Despicable Me 3.
Yeah.
The only reason I gave that a 4 and not a 3. No, I think I gave it a 3. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Well, that's going to be all from CineBRUH.
That's all, folks.
So, good morning, good evening, and good night, and meatballs.
And I bid you adieu.
Adieu.